Hello everyone, once again this is Hashim Whitmore with BeTheWorld'sGreatestBarber.com. Thank you once again for tuning into my channel. I wanted to say before I get into anything, thank you for all the emails I've been getting, all the great comments, all the love that I've been getting from everyone out there. Barbers are showing me love. Everybody's just sending me a lot of questions, a lot of positive feedback. And this is amazing to me. This is my dream. So you know, guys, when you guys see me, you guys actually see somebody living out their dream, and that's helping other people. So one of the things that I wanted to address with barbers, especially new barbers, how to really take certain criticism, how to really step up your game. This is like the uncut version of the barber life, all right? And to give you a little backstory, and just to give you a little up front, just to be real, that a lot of barbers out there, you guys gotta step your game up. Step your game up to a whole nother level. And the reason why I say that, where that comes from, is because people are watching you. People are looking at you, from shop owners to clients to people that are going on your Yelp reviews to your website. They're watching how you clean up your station. They're watching how you take care of your clients. Barbers or other barbers in the shop are watching your cuts, and you're being judged on it. You're being judged all the time. So if you don't step your game all the way up, and stop taking like lazy options or not presenting yourself to your best abilities, then man, you got a long road to go in this. And I don't want you guys to get discouraged, because sometimes there's things that you don't even know what you're doing, because nobody's telling you, nobody's taking out the time to really sit you to the side and say, hey man, what the hell's going on? And so give you a backstory. Hey, when I first came back to California, I was excited. I was excited to finally be back home. I knew that I was gonna make something of myself. Because DC, I went through so much bullshit just to get out of barber school. And when I say to get out of barber school, I grinded. When I went hard in barber school, all my grades, all my tests, I was 100%, 95%, on up. I knew all my stuff, but they held up hours. Schools don't always be on top of their stuff. That's why in other videos I say, hey man, make sure you check out where you're going to school at, who if they're accredited, if there's financial aid available, how they really run their operations. So that's why, and I'll go into that more in other videos. But to give you some of my backstory, hey, I'm out in DC, and I win Barber of the Year, Best Beard Design of the Year, and then I take second place in another category called Barber Creation, right, in the Golden Scissors Hair Competition. And I'm just, I'm feeling great, And when I came back to California, my grandmother was sick. I was like, you know what? My family's gonna see me be successful at what I love doing. I get into the shop, and I had something totally new I wasn't expecting. I was taught principles of how to cut hair, and but in school and where I was at, it was all black people's hair, all fades and things like that. So when I came back to California, I was at a disadvantage, because there was straight hair now. There was straight Asian hair, straight white hair, straight all these different nationalities that wanted fades or wanted tapers and things like that. And I couldn't make that transition from the way I was out. I knew how to cut black hair to there was a gap, in the in my services, and it was hard, man. It was really, and I stood and I watched other barbers constantly. I said, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And I know I could do a fade well here, and it was humbling. It was humbling as hell. Eventually I got it. One of my barbers I work with, he showed me just one thing, how to use my guards, and once he did that, boom, I was on it. And I understood how to work. But before then, there was times where the haircuts were just fucked up. They were just, you're like, oh man, I don't know how to get that line out of there. I don't know. And this is it's so light. It's so, the transition. It's just, I couldn't get it. But I worked at it. I worked hard as hell at it. And I remember one day, the barbershop is a great place. Because the barbershop give it to you real. They tell you, hey man, that shit was terrible, and whatever it was that day, that's when the shop like roasted me, and they had all types of jokes, and it was funny as hell, because they were just getting on the cuts and everything like that. And I was like, okay. I know how this feels. I don't like this feeling at all. I don't like being the weak one in the shop, or clients that go to another barber and say, oh yeah, she can. He might be able to do other stuff, but he messed up this, right? And and sometimes you might be in that same position. Right, you might not know that you're doing bad work, but if that moment ever happens, when an owner comes and hollers at you, or one of your boys comes and hollers at you, and you really have to take that. You have to be a little bit humble and say, you know what, there's some areas that I really need to step up my game, and so me being a very competitive, a very very determined individual, I had certain goals for myself. I said, you know what, the laughter and all those type of things, that hurt, all right, but they don't know what I'm made of. I'm about to take it all now, and so and I knew I was going to do that by my customer service, by my presentation, and I was going to step my skills up and understand all these different tapers and haircuts and fades and comb overs and everything like that. And it was just a matter of time. So in a short period of time, once it clicked, I never let it go. If there was going to be somebody at the shop that was going to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning cutting hair, I was going to be there at 5:30 in the morning. I was going to have my station clean. I was going to have all my tools and equipment, and I was going to remember names. I was going to remember haircuts, even if they weren't my clients, even if they were just passerbys. And I was going to introduce myself. I'm going to present myself as a professional. And if I ever got the chance, one of those people ever that weren't my clients ever sat in my chair, I was going to give them the best service. Not only I was going to give them the best service, I was going to let the thing that I love most, which is cutting hair and helping people, I was going to let that shine through. I was going to give them that positivity that they weren't getting nowhere else. I was going to give them that consistency that they weren't getting anywhere else. So when I said that hey, you can come in at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, that chair was open for you, you know. And that, I made a standard that was higher than everybody else around me, right? But I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to be, it was a thrill to me to be, and there was a bunch of barber shops on the block that I worked on, like 5 different barber shops. So I would get up early, and on my way to the shop, I would drive by all the shops, and I would look and be like, okay, I'm the only one out here. Let me set up, and let me prepare, and let me open the doors, let me put out the tables, let me turn on the TV, turn on the music, let me set the environment, because I know that's going to be, that clients are going to be coming, and I took the skills that I had, and especially if you're young and you have the energy, you could, if you know how to cut hair, especially if you do things in systems, it helps you so much more with your time. You have a system for how you finish your haircuts. You have a system for how you do your consultation. You have a system for how you when you sweep up your hair. All those type of things that you do consistently, and in time, your speed gets so quick. It's amazing. You'll start seeing haircuts and people and clients that you've seen before, and as soon as they walk in, you're like, okay, that's going to be a 1 on the sides, 3 on top. I could get him out there, in and out, less than 15 minutes. Okay, and then you see the next person. Okay, that's a 0-2 fade with a razor line up in the chin strap. Okay, I could get him out in around 20 minutes. So being young and able, having a good work environment where you can move your chair around and get your work in, and it's amazing. And embrace your competitiveness. Go out there and when people, and don't forget the feeling of when you thought you were doing something and you really weren't. When you thought you were doing your best, but you really weren't presenting yourself that way. When you were coming to work with flip-flops, or you were leaving early, or you were you weren't really asking your clients if they were happy with their services or whatever, and you were just getting people in and out, and you were like a transactional barber, and you weren't building a relationship. You were just trying to get that, whatever you're charging, and then get on to the next one. But I'm not going to encourage that. I'm encourage you to be competitive, go out there, go hard in the paint. It's going to take a lot out of you. It will take a lot out of you, especially if you don't plan, especially if you don't follow some of the things that I said about meal planning, resting, having systems, taking breaks, knowing how to balance all that. But I'll tell you, there's no greater feeling than going from new cat in the shop that was once being kind of like laughed at, and people were talking about, then the new cat a few months later that has everybody waiting for him, and I'm not sure how many barbers have been able to say that they've done that, but there's been, for me, it was some of the greatest times where there was 4 other barbers in the shop, and on a Saturday, and all that day, maybe an exception around 3 or 4 people that went to another barber, that everybody in there waited for me. That's an amazing feeling. That's when you say, and damn it, I'm good at this. I'm good.